Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Boulder Canyon here in Farming Simulator 19. We've got several trees laid out on the ground over here that we're going to be picking up very shortly. I thought we would just chop down a few more, although most of these here are actually going to be cut down anyway. I think it was kind of up through there, wasn't it? I'm not entirely certain, but I do want to take down this tree right here. If we remove that one and get that one out of the way, and then I think we will go through and we will pick up the timber that we've got lying on the ground and we will go and sell it, and then we can skip through the night, and after that we will, well, we'll need to get a little bit more fertilizer onto the grass first, won't we? That's got to be our top priority, is getting that fertilizer on this part of the field. And then once we've done that, I don't think there's actually going to be any more jobs that we want to do to the field until the grass is ready to harvest. We'll need to just keep an eye on the sheep and make sure that they're doing okay. And what I might do is cut down a few trees, and we'll just sort of make a little bit of a start working our way up across there. But generally, I'm thinking we leave most of it for a minute, and I will have time jumping forward quite a bit faster than normal, so that we can get started on this field here again with like cutting it all and making good use of the hired help across the field. Yes, we will have to use the baler. We will do that manually, obviously. That just goes without saying, but most of the rest of it will be able to make good use of the hired help on this particular job. And yeah, I know it does cost money to use the hired help, but that's kind of the whole point of having the hired help house there, and it really does benefit us in the long run. It's very, very handy being able to use that hired help, so it's something that I would like to be able to do plenty of. Now, if we come up through here, I'm going to have to change the side that it picks up from. So, let me just have a look here. Auto load. I want to change sides first. Let me change that to there. Right. What do we got? Auto loading, position, show hide. No. Toggle sides. Right, I want to do that one so it changes side, and then start loading. And it should be loading now on the left-hand side. If all is going well. I think I've toggled it to the right-hand side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've just toggled it to the right-hand side. Okay, so if I press B, and then I toggle it again, and I press... right, so it was already on the left-hand side, and I toggled it to the right-hand side. So we'll come up this way. So there's a couple of them. Just the first few logs. I want to get all of these out of this corner first. I felled these kind of in the wrong direction, I think. We'll get what we can here. I'm going to hide that now. And I might just have to drive around in circles a couple times. And let me just speed up time to the 30 times that it's supposed to be running on while we do this. At least I remembered. At least I remembered. We only lost a little bit right at the beginning. So I think we can... I think that we can accept that as being done. We'll accept that as me having remembered. I'm quite happy to do that. And if anybody isn't happy with that, if you could say so right now, just literally speak into my ear right now. Okay, I didn't hear anything, so you're obviously all quite okay with everything I've done. I tell you what, if someone had just spoken in my ear, I think I genuinely would have just keeled over and died from a heart attack. Right? Just absolute sheer terror. I would have just... that would have been the end of Frithgar. No questions, no ifs, buts, or maybes. That simply would have been the end of Frithgar. I honestly can't think that there would have been any other possible option. No other possible outcome. Oh! Because I've got it on auto load, you can't jump back into the vehicle. You've got to do it... You've got to tab into the vehicle when you've got the auto load active. I forgot about that, because I jumped out just to get the timber loading. But it doesn't actually let you jump back in again. You've got to tab into the vehicle. It's a bit of a strange thing. I'm not quite sure why it would do that. I don't know what it is in the script that causes it to do that. It might not be the script itself. It might be something to do with the way that the game itself works. I didn't really want to do that, did I? Right. Let me stop that a minute. We change sides. And I'll load that one up. And then I'll stop it again. And then I'll change sides. And then I'm going to start unloading it a little bit. Just until it... There we go. Just until it gets rid of that one. And then I'm going to start loading it again. We go like that a little bit. And then I'll pick up that one. It's left one behind. There we go. Let me grab that. The problem with loading on the side of a hill with this is that, as you can see, it doesn't always give you the tidiest load. But it's sort of working. It is sort of working. We'll come down here. I might be able to get all of this onto one load. I'm kind of hoping that I can. It would be very cool if we could take all of this in one load. I know that, looking at it, it's going to be a rather overloaded load if we do put the whole lot into one go. But at the same time, I still think it would be very, very cool. Because that's, like, you know, there's a huge amount of timber on here. And I think that could look really good dragging it up to the mill. Like, all of that money that we'll get from it. It's now starting to empty things out a little bit. And it's struggling to move it at all. Right, it's genuinely struggling to move it. That one is just simply too big. Oh no, that's in two lots. I'm not going to be able to get back in, am I? No. Right, let's do that again. Maybe I should stop it a minute. Oh no. It auto-stopped. So it stopped. It does that sometimes. When you reach like a set height, it does sometimes sort of auto-stop. Honestly, this is too much. We're not going to be able to load this very well. So let me stop it again and unload a little bit of it. A bit more of it. There. We'll leave it like that. There. I'll take this lot here, and then I'll come back and we'll get the rest of it, and we'll do it in 2 loads. So we're not going to be able to get the second load today, I don't think. I can slow that down to 5 times, but it's already 7 o'clock. I don't think we'll get the rest of it done today. But at least we get a little bit of cash. We can go and we can sell this little bit. And then we'll have another bit of cash first thing in the morning that we'll go and sell. And then we will do the fertilizer. And we'll also take a look at the sheep and see if there's anything that needs doing there. I think that would be about it. And we might just go up through and fell a line. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go up through and fell a line of trees, just to mark out the boundary area of the new fields already, or instead what we could do, I think we need a front weight on this one. See how much the wheels are sort of spinning at the moment? I'm thinking a front... No, he seemed to do alright, but yeah, but if it's loaded much more than that, I think a front weight is going to be essential. Might go and get rid of the stumps that we've got here on this new one. Right, of these new trees that we've cut down. If I go and get rid of the stumps on that, there, we sell that lot for $15,000. So it wasn't, like, hugely piled up. If we was to remove the tree stumps on the area, on the bit that we've just cut now, and do that first... Then after that, then we start like cutting out the new trees going straight up towards the big boulder that we want to go up towards to mark out the edge of the new field. And once we've established the edge of the new field, then we'll be working through the rest of it. I'm not planning... Well, I'm hoping that we would actually get quite a bit of the field done with the Ponzi Scorpion, because obviously that's the next big thing that we're going to be buying. So if we're able to get like a cut of silage off of this field and we can sell a huge load of silage bales, I think that would be a really good thing. I think that's going to be a huge positive. Let me just bring that one up to there and we start loading again. There's going to be a massive amount of money involved in that. And then we've also got our sheep, which are producing wool, and we're getting a nice bit of money coming in from those as well. That's all going to help. And the money that we're getting coming in from the sheep and also from the silage, that's really going to help to drastically reduce the number of trees that we have to go and cut down by hand. I'm really looking forward to getting the Ponzi Scorpion. I know it's not going to save us huge amounts of time, especially considering how quickly I can now cut things down with the chainsaw. Like, I have gotten a lot better with that, but it's still going to be fast. I should have this on 30 times speed. You know what? I should have already had that on 30 times speed, so we'll just say that it's already too late to go and do that anymore. So if I just go to 120 like that, just to take it up to close to 8 o'clock, and then we'll drop it back down to 5 times speed. Right, I'll do it like this. There. Right, that's close enough. And then we will go over this way, and we get a little bit of sleep. I just want to check something. What is the overnight rate? So 7,800. We're absolutely fine for everything for the animals. And everything's going up here at the moment. Wool at the moment is, well, that's coming down. $1,067. Right, so now we skip the night. And we want to go 11 hours. Like that. That'll take us from... Oh, hello. We got rain coming. 7,000 on loan interest. And it's now hoofing it down with rain. How long is this rain going to last? It's quite interesting, this, that we've now actually got a full rainstorm coming through. That's gone all the way down to 690 right there. That's actually really quite low. So wool, we definitely wouldn't want to be selling today. They're saying 4,070. Does that mean the other one is now completely full? It does. The other one is completely full. Yep, we've got one completely full, but the price has gone down to well below $1,000. It was 690, I think I said. 690. So we have got a nice bit of wool. We just need to wait for that price to come back up. There's no way we're selling it at that. That is way too low. So we'll be holding on to that until we've got a better price come available. And then silage right now is not very good, but we don't care about silage right now because we don't have anything to cut. We will go and pick up the timber, and then this field here is fertilized, but it's not properly fertilized. If I go grass like that, and then I go growth, you can see that one's already on the first growth stage for harvesting, although we want to leave that to go to another growth stage. I remove those two like that. We're ready to go and spread fertilizer over that bit. So first things first, we will go up here, and I don't think we should be spreading in the rain, because spreading in the rain is generally bad. And you can spread, like, before light rain. You can spread fertilizer in light rain as long as you can keep everything dry. There we go. But it only works if you can keep the fertilizer dry. And it's got to be light rain so that it washes into the soil. If it goes to heavy rain, it then gets washed off the soil and in runoff rather than anything else. And that's really, really bad. You really don't want that. Right. So we've got a little bit of timber right there. I'll switch off the auto-load feature a second, and I'll put that on. I'm going to switch my tractor off as well. And I'm going to come over this way. I know I didn't change the time again, but it was very, very little on that. I'm going to cut down 2 trees right here, so that we've got a little bit more on this load of timber. You know, we're making a load of timber. We may as well make a load of timber. And so I'll put that one there, and then this one. Move that one over there a little bit. And cut that one down. Much the same angle. And then, you know, I'm going to do all 4 of these trees. We'll do all 4 of these, and I suspect that this is going to be too many for the trailer that we've got. I suspect that we're going to overload it with this, but I think it's worth it. I think it is worth the risk. So let's run down through here and clean that one off, and then come back up, and that one I'm going to cut in half like that. There. And then I'll come up here and Oh, that's one of those horrible trees, the ones that I really despise. So we'll leave that one. And we will come down here and trim this one up. All the way down through there, like that. And that one will want to be cut into 3, I should say. So we'll do 1 cut there. And I will do 1 cut there. And then this one here... Where is the edge of this tree? I've got a bit there. It's sort of about there. If I cut that one there, I'll be able to dump the other bit onto the trailer. I can pick that bit up by hand, so I can dump that onto the trailer. Which means that we've actually only got 3 trees that we need to pick up and carry with us. And 3, I think, is okay. I think we'll do alright with that. So bring you down through here. One thing I've got to be careful of is that we don't have the grass stage grow to another stage before we're ready to start spreading fertilizer. We want to get the fertilizer on the field before we do too much more, because otherwise we are going to miss it and we're going to have less fertilizer on here than we wanted. Let's just have a look on there a second. A growth. Right, that's on there, so it's got another growth stage to go, and then it'll go to the harvest stage. So this part of the field over here has got quite a ways to go before it's actually ready for harvesting. Which means it was the 30 times speed bit that I was worried about. I was a bit concerned that we were going to go, like, go on too far with it, but it doesn't look like we are. It looks like we're going to be okay with that. So I'll bring you up round this way. And we'll start up the top here. If I just undo that a minute and put it loading. And then I'll go up this top side here. And we'll pick everything up. And then right at the end, I will get out and I will manually pick up that last one. And I will now switch that to 30 times speed. Like that. And there's, it's just that little short bit. It should pick up that short bit. That bit should be okay. Right, are you... You're not actually picking anything up. Oh, yes it is. There we go. Right, it's decided to work. And that one, it doesn't like. We'll come back and get that one in a minute. Why aren't you picking up? Does do... Oh, wait, has it decided it doesn't like it? It did. For some reason it just... Sometimes, it actually seems to, like, if one drops off the trailer... like off the other side, it seems to detect that, and then it stops loading. And it just auto stops loading as soon as you drop one off the trailer. And I think that is quite a good feature. I don't know if it's an intended thing, or if it's just because the timber has reached a set height, or something like that. But, I mean, it shouldn't have detected any kind of set height on it. Not that time round, because there wasn't a set height on it. So let me stop loading a minute. And then I'll get out, and can I pick this one up? I can't pick that one up by hand, so I need to... Oh, I know what I'll do. I get this one here, and I'll pick this one up by hand. And I'll put that one in there. Got to go in here somehow. Like that. There we go. That's perfectly natural and normal. And then... we will put the straps onto it, like that. We'll start the tractor, and we will move forward like this. We're still on 30 times speed, but it's doing okay with that. Oh, going over those stumps didn't do it a lot of good. Right, let me remove the straps a second and load. Turn the loading off, and then put the straps on again. That should be okay. I know it looks a bit messy with that one stuck out the side, but we all know by now that that one doesn't actually exist, so we can ignore that one. And now I'll just get down here. I'll leave it on 30 times speed just for a bit because of the bit that I didn't use earlier. We'll bring it up to here. There we go. Right, so we'll slow that one down again. We've got $25,000 at the moment. Our target is something in the region of $350,000 in order to be able to get the Ponzi Scorpion. So we've got a little bit still to go in order to be able to properly get... in order to be able to get all the money that we're going to need. But I still think we're doing okay. I still think we are successfully progressing forwards, because we've got this beautiful great big field now, and you can see right there the weight really isn't sufficient on the front, is it? Just the normal weight that the tractor comes with just isn't quite enough to do what we need it to do. So we'll bring you up this way like that, and we'll stop you there, and I'll do that. But at the back here, I don't think this is going to be sufficient, so I will take that one off, and I'll bring it over, and I'll drop that down there. And then we will do that, and we will sell everything. So we've sold all of it, $18,000. Let's make our merry, be on our merry. So we're now up to $42,000. So we've only got $310,000 to go. We'll have this in no time. We'll have this in absolutely no time. The bales is going to be our next big thing, so I'm just trying to think. We want fertilizer on the land. We need to get fertilizer spread on that field before too much longer. So I'm thinking we head back over there, we get the fertilizer ready, we get it loaded, and then possibly I might just fast forward time until the rain stops, so that we can get the fertilizer on. I could bring the mower onto the field on this side. I can actually go through and I can mow the field on this side. The yield isn't going to be that good though, because it's only on the first stage of growth, or the first harvest stage. You wouldn't get that great a yield from it. So bring you round here. Stop you right there. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to unhitch it completely. There. And then we'll go over this way. We'll get fertilizer in it and we'll get it loaded. But we're not going to start spreading it yet. We're going to wait till the rain stops. Right, you can see there's a picture of sunshine next to us now, which means that eventually it's going to stop raining. I don't know when it's going to stop raining, but it will stop raining. I've got complete faith in it. But at the moment, rain is stopping play. We can't do this in the rain. So rain is at present stopping play. So we'll just let's speed it right up to 120 times. And there we go. We've just got to sit here and wait for the rain to stop. Hoofing it down at the moment. If it goes on too long, we might just have to go over and spread anyway, because I don't want to risk the growth stage going across the field. Right, if it gets to 11:30 and it still hasn't stopped raining... Oh, hang on. I say, is the sky changing colour slightly? Does that mean it's thinking about stopping raining? I say, if it gets to 11:30 and it's still raining, we might just start spreading fertilizer anyway. Because I really, really don't want that to go onto a harvestable. Look, there, we've got gaps in the cloud sort of showing through. It's 12:30 now, but at the moment, no, it's not looking promising. All right, 12 o'clock. If it gets to 12, we will start spreading. We'll start spreading in the rain. Even though it's raining, yeah, we'll start spreading. We'll put it back to 5 times and we're going to start spreading. Right in the rain. There. This isn't ideal. We don't really want to be spreading in the rain. This is definitely not an ideal situation to be in. But sometimes needs must. Sometimes you've got to do it. And it's not raining so heavily that we've got surface runoff. So we shouldn't be getting our fertilizer running off the field. It should just be being washed down into the soil, which is... That is, you know, technically what we're after. We want it to be washed down into the soil. But, you know, ideally what you want to do is you want to spread the fertilizer out onto the grass. And you want a heavy dew to come down the following morning, well, that night. And that'll help dissolve the granules. And then the following day, some light rain. Very light rain, and that just wash it into the soil a little bit and help fix it. That's like perfect conditions for fertilizer, but you never actually get perfect conditions. All you really hope for is a good strong dew a couple mornings after you've spread your fertilizer, and you hope also that you don't get a really heavy rainstorm in the first 48 hours of spreading fertilizer. So long as those two conditions are met, then everything should be all tickety-boo. If those two conditions are not met and it stays absolutely bone dry, what happens is the granules for the fertilizer, they stay on the field and they don't actually dissolve, and this causes you some serious problems. Because the granules aren't dissolving, they sit on the surface, and because they're just sat there on the surface not doing anything, they start to burn the grass, right? The fertilizer actually starts to burn the grass that you've spread it onto, and this then causes you some problems. You don't really want that burning, because that kills the grass. That burning does actually kill the grass. So the fertilizer sits there. It's really good nutrients for the roots, but it's not so good for the actual surface of the plant, and that's where it causes the problems. And I know that I've heard this said before. You know, this is just something that's known about, but I've heard people say, "Oh, that proves that the fertilizer is terrible. It proves it's bad and it shouldn't be used." There's arguments for and against using artificial fertilizers. But that particular argument, I feel, falls flat. There is some vitamins, things like vitamin B, and, well, there's several different types of vitamin B, as well as some other vitamins as well, that your body needs, right? And I don't just mean it's good for your body, I mean your body needs this stuff in order to live. If you don't get it, if you have a complete deficit of this particular vitamin, then your body ceases to function. And you don't really want your body to cease to function. You'd like it to function for as long as possible, right? You know, that's quite understandable. If you don't get these vitamins, then your body will cease to function. If you handle these vitamins in large quantities, it will kill you, right? Just the same as the grass. I used to work in a factory, and we used to make a drink, and this drink had a lot of extra vitamins and minerals and stuff added into it, and it's got sort of everything you need. If you, well, it's sort of sold as like a meal, almost a meal replacement type drink, and it is quite popular. But the NHS actually uses quite a bit of it. So our National Health Service actually uses quite a bit of this. And for people who can't digest food properly, it's really good because it provides just about everything they need in order to survive. It might not sort of seem very filling, just a milkshake drink, but it's all these extra vitamins and stuff in it, provides everything they need. When you're making this stuff up, if you handle those vitamins and minerals without putting on huge, big, thick, black rubber gloves and a thick suit in order to stop the stuff from coming into contact with your skin, and then a heavy mask and a rebreather kit to protect you from it as well, and I'm talking serious, like, biohazard type, you are just about kitting yourself out in a complete biohazard suit, right? This is serious stuff. If you don't use all of that, and that stuff actually gets in contact with your skin, one, it could make you very, very dangerously ill, or two, it could just kill you, right? You get enough of that touch your bare skin, and it will just kill you, because it will overdose you on it. Very, very dangerous stuff, which you need in order to live. So it's all about the right quantities, and this is what happens with artificial fertilizers. It doesn't happen with natural fertilizers, admittedly, but with artificial fertilizers, if you put them onto the grass or onto the crops, and it's just left there in its neat form in very, very dry weather, so it doesn't get a chance to disperse into the soil and be absorbed properly, and it's just there pressed against the plant, it will burn that plant and it will kill it, because in that form it's poisonous to the plant. Once it's dissolved, and it dissolves and spreads out into the soil, it's no longer it's no longer poisonous, and it becomes the thing that the plant needs. Now, if you're using natural fertilizers, if you're using natural manure or slurry or something like that, this isn't a problem. Well, at least it's not a problem like that, but it still can be a problem. You go and spread a load of manure on the field, and you do so in dry weather, but you don't have any other type of weather. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just turn the hide help off a second. And I'm going to run down here. And I'm going to finish out this little section down here. If you don't have a... Hang on. It's behaving in a little... Oh, I think I know why. We got a little section here that was cut before, wasn't it? So it only needed like one bit on it. Right, well, there's all of that done. We've got 130 litres, so we're going to get a bit more. If you go and spread manure on a field when it's really dry, then that manure won't rot down properly. That manure will simply dry out on the surface, and it will smother the plants, and it will kill them. And so... Oh, no, I don't want to press B. I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. I want to press that button. I want to press R so that it refills it. If you spread it in dry weather, exactly the same conditions that you spread that fertilizer, that artificial fertilizer on that has burned your grass and has killed it, the manure will do much the same. The manure won't rot, the manure will just sit on the top and it will dry out, and it won't burn the plant to death. Right, it's behaving a little bit odd, but it is travelling up and down the field, so it does look like we did indeed get rid of all the stumps, except for up and down that side, but we know about that. There's a whole line of them down through there that we'll have to get rid of at some point. It doesn't burn the material off, but because the weather is dry, the manure will sit on top of the field. It won't rot down properly, and what happens is that it smothers the plants. And it same effect, it still kills them, it just kills them in a different way. So the all-natural solution, using manure only and not using any artificial fertilizers, if you spread it in exactly the same way that you spread the artificial fertilizer, it doesn't do any good. You go and spread that manure in heavy rain. Like artificial fertilizer, you spread that in heavy rain, it instantly gets washed off and into the watercourse. You go and spread manure on the field, and then you get a torrential downpour. It will do exactly the same. It will wash that off the field and into the watercourses. If you spread it and you get some light rain, that helps to wash it down into the soil. It then mats down into the crop a lot better, and it starts going down into the soil. And then if you get heavy rain a day later, right, the artificial fertilizer has already dissolved and gone down into the soil. Doesn't matter. The manure, that has most of the sort of the nutrients that are there available to start with. That's already sort of washed down. It's dissipated the manure a little bit, and it's washed it down into right down to the soil, in amongst the plants. And the heavy rain is a lot less likely. It can still wash some of the stuff off and into watercourses, but it's not going to wash off anywhere near as much as it would have done if it happens like within 24, 48 hours of your application of it. So heavy rain still results in the stuff being washed into watercourses, whether you're using artificial fertilizer or if you're using natural fertilizer. No rain at all, bone dry, that also causes problems. So both, there's pros and cons to both of them. It's a lot easier and cheaper to handle this type of fertilizer that we're using right here, but the natural fertilizer, the manure, you don't actually have to go and buy the stuff in the first place. So although you've got increased costs with handling it because it's a bulkier material, so you've got more trips backwards and forwards to the farm, plus you've got more expensive equipment to actually handle it, dig it up, spread it on and get it onto the field, that sort of thing. Those are your increased costs, whereas you don't actually have to go and pay for the manure in the first place. This stuff right here that we're using, oops, press H, not B. This stuff right here that we're using, this is your handling equipment. We've got it right here, and possibly a front loader if you're using the big 1-ton bags. If you're not using 1-ton bags, you don't even need to use a front loader. And this is it, right? This is your handling equipment. So your handling equipment is considerably cheaper than a large muck spreader. Just a fertilizer spinner like this is way cheaper. But you have to go and buy the stuff in the first place. But anyway, I haven't gone on too long today, but we've got our fertilizer done. We've at least got that bit done. We've sold some timber. We are making some decent progress. So next week, we're going to be doing a bigger silage harvest than we have done in the past. And we'll be cutting down more trees and stuff like that. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.